came to Lagos in 2021. There were so many things happening in Lagos that was really surprising to me, that made me to question, is it truly Nigeria? One of the first experiences I had was when I went to the hospital, of course, in my former place of work, where we have HMO. That means we are entitled to medical care. So when I went, I discovered that the medication they gave me was not complete. So I went to a chemist close to my house. And so when I went there, the woman thought that I came actually to inquire before going to another place to buy. So I asked her how much she sells this. She picked a fight too. she really picked a fight. And then another experience was that, when I came down from the bus from VI to where I was living, guess what happened? We had a change problem. Like, they change now. If you want to give up, the driver or the conductor needed a change to give up. So he was looking for change. And then I saw someone with some change. I met the person. I requested, please, sir. I greeted the person. I greeted, now, as we come from, all these respectful who. I greeted him well. And I know in the north, somehow, you relate with people nicely. So I greeted him and I requested and I pleaded with him to help me with change. This man picked a fight too. He brought all the frustration on my head. Everything, he was just busy shouting and fighting. I begged him and I said sorry to him and I left. These experiences went on and on and on. And then in my place of work, I've never heard people talk openly about tithing. The first time I heard it was at my place of work office. Everybody was arguing tithing is a sin. This one is a sin. That one is not supposed to be. This one, these people are extorting money from us. And then I was like, why would you say that? Why would you say that they are extorting money? And there was this person going, viral on social media where he discussed against tithing and all of that. So this were really new to me because people were really agitating against tithing. So I asked the other person his experience. He was a pastor in a church, and of course that church was built by a man who now employed him to manage the church. So I think the sharing ratio was not fair. So for him, no. So he started preaching against tithing. All right. So that's not my focus actually. I don't want to talk about who and why not. But the question is tithing really from the word of, is tithing really in the New Testament? Because it's the question that everybody would love to ask. Is tithing really in the New Testament? Because every time they want to preach about tithing, it's always Malachi, all these things they talked about, okay, the Levite. But is tithing really in the New Testament? What is Jesus saying about tithing? When you go to the book of Matthew 23, verse 23, of course, this video I saw from Pastor E.A. Adeboye, who spoke about tithing intensively. For those of you who have a question as to whether tithing is for Old Testament or tithing is also included in the New Testament, please watch the video and tell me the video of Pastor E.A. Adeboye talking about this tithing, and then tell me what you think about it. And tell me whether you agree that tithing is actually in the Bible, in the New Testament, or you're doubting because you are hearing messages, flying messages about tithing, and because you are stingy, you don't want to give out your money. So I wouldn't want to conclude. I just want you to watch the video and then comment your own, view about that. Thank you.
Now, there is so much noise around now saying that you shouldn't pay your tithe. And I will tell you the reason why there is so much noise in Nigeria. It's not Nigeria that started paying tithe. It has started even before they brought the gospel to us. The Pentecostals have been paying tithes now for more than 100 years. There's no noise anywhere else in the world saying you shouldn't pay your tithe. The truth of the matter is that some people are afraid of you. They have discovered that you have become very influential. And they have discovered that if they don't do something to stop you, you will take over the nation. And whether the devil likes it or not, you will be great. And so they began this. They found out that one of the sources by which God had been sustaining his church is through tithing. They said Jesus didn't ask us to tithe. So I'm going to ask them to put on the screen for you a passage. Just one is enough. Matthew 23, verse 23. Matthew 23, verse 23. First of all, put it there in King James Version. And please make it big so that everybody can read it. Put it on the screen. He says, "Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye pay tithes of mint and anise and cumin, and have omitted the weightier," please put this thing on the wall, "the weightier matters of the law, judgment, mercy, and faith." And then he said, "These ought ye to have done, and not to leave the other undone." In case you don't understand King James Version, I will ask that they put it on in the New Living Translation. That's modern English now, that you can see. Could you contract it a little so they can see? Oh, God bless my engineers. Anyway, I will read it to you. It says Matthew 23 verse 3, Matthew 23 verse 23. He said, "What sorrow awaits you, teachers of religious law, and you Pharisees, hypocrites, for you are careful to tithe even the tiniest income from your herb gardens, but you ignore the more important aspects of the law, justice, mercy, and faith." He said, you should tithe, yes, but do not neglect the more important things. This is Jesus speaking. What did Jesus ask you to do? You tithe. He said you should tithe. And he added, yes. When God is going to judge us on the day of judgment, he's not going to base his judgment on what is on the internet or what is on the Facebook or what is any other form of communication. He's going to say, can't you read for yourself? What did I say? Jesus is my Lord. I will do whatever he says, not anybody else. Because in 1 Samuel chapter 15, you can read it from verse 1 to the end. 1 Samuel 15 from verse 1 to the end. When God sent King Saul on an errand, and he didn't fulfill all that God asked him to do. And they asked him, why not? He said, the people made me to disobey God. God did not say, because it is the people that cause you to disobey me, therefore go scot-free. God said, I spoke to you. And he took his kingdom away from him. I pray in the name that's above every other name, you will not lose your crown.